Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are here with Robin Shimizu to talk about our happy, healthy habits. Robin, we just love having you. But before you start, I just want to give a shout out to my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. And I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. So on Thursdays, we always come in here to talk about your health because you can't keep your wealth if you can't keep your health. All right. So with that, I just want to introduce the son, present to others, Miss Robin Shimizu. How you doing this morning, Robin?
Happy New Year, Terry.
Happy
Good to
New
see you.
Year. Oh my goodness. Yes. Happy New
Happy,
Year.
happy 2021, right?
Yes, 2021.
Okay, so I'm going to make this quick. My healthy habit for today is for us as women to always keep in mind that we always need to ask for help. We have to ask, because I had an episode on New Year's Day where I should have asked my family for help and I didn't. And I actually fainted, conked my head and all this stuff, but I had family right in the next room. And all I had to do was say, hey, somebody come help me. And I didn't do it. So it was the biggest lesson for me and the biggest wake up call for me, because as women, we don't ask for help. We just think we can do it. Oh, I can get through this. I can take care of this myself, whatever the case may be. So people, please, people want to be asked for help. They want to help you. So anyway, that's the only thing I have to say about today's healthy habit is for people to keep in mind that it's really, really okay to ask for help. And in fact, the Lord wants you to ask for help. The universe wants you to ask for help. People want to help you. So anyway, that's my little and then next week we'll talk about water, which was the thing I had planned to talk about today.
Fantastic. Well, I think that is one of the best pieces of advice regarding a habit that we can get, because a lot of times we think it's something physical or something extra that we have to do. But I like the idea that we need to give ourselves permission to ask for help, because as women, we're always running around trying to fix everything.
That's
and
right.
My two statements for Biz Chicks are: no is a complete sentence, and everything is not for you to fix. Sometimes we just need help.
That's right.
Oh my goodness. Well, what do you have for us today?
Today we have our favorite yoga nidra instructor, Jill Weston. So she's with us today to start off our new year right in terms of taking care of ourselves. And she's going to talk to us about movement and also multitasking. And so let's bring Jill on. She's the owner and a breathing space in Elk Grove, California. She's my yoga nidra instructor, my yoga nidra guru, and she helps us with meditation, breathing, and all kinds of stress and calm. It's calm your chaos, right?
Yes,
Jill?
calm my chaos.
Hi, Jill. Good to see you.
You too as well, Robin. And Robin's being very humble. She is a graduate and teaches yoga nidra now. So she took my
oh, see, she's got all kind of secrets.
Able to calm people's chaos as well.
Wow.
And I'm going to start teaching. I am going to start teaching probably in the middle of January.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, can everybody turn their audio to half? Because I'm getting a little feedback. Okay.
How's that?
That's great. Okay, so we are going to get this party started. What do you have for us, Jill?
All right. So what I'm going to talk about today is mindful movement and multitasking at the same time. Multitasking isn't always for the best, but it's a given that that's what we're doing these days. So multitasking, you might say, well, I'm sitting down, therefore I'm not multitasking. but your brain is probably thinking of many different things. We talk about when too many tabs are open.
Oh.
And so the idea is you might have, like, you're sitting, those of you who are at home, maybe you're sitting, maybe you're listening as you're driving, or you're standing. What I'm going to show you today is things that you can do while you're sitting, while you are planning, while you're on the phone, that still involves movement. So there was a study done with over 1 million participants ages 18 to 64, and they found that sitting over 7.5 hours has a relationship with increased death. So even sitting 7.5 hours is a lot anyway, leads to a higher risk of heart disease, metabolic diseases when your body is just not moving enough in your system, cancer, and musculoskeletal issues. So the idea again is sometimes we think that movement is important more for the physicality. Yeah. So if I do cardio boxing classes, if I do yoga, if I do stretching, it's going to take off the COVID pounds. Well, it might be important to you to look good. I'm going to question and challenge you. It might be nice for you to look good if that's your thing, and that's fine. But it's really important to feel good and to have mobility. So simple things like if you notice when you reach for a teacup or your coffee cup or you go to lift it up, are you lifting with two hands because it feels nice and warm? Or I know people that have shoulder issues, they can't even lift a cup. When you go to stand up, are you moaning and groaning, or are we acting like our parents acted sometimes as they aged? So I'm going to show you tips for mindful movement while you are multitasking. Yes. And remembering that movement is important physically, mentally, and emotionally. It is important for fitness, but again, if it's raining outside, if you have a Zoom meeting to attend, if you have some business tasks, you may not be able to go take a yoga class or to stretch or to go for a run. So this is for online meetings. If you're standing or sitting at any time while you're working, even while you're making products. So some of the biz chicks I know make jewelry, they make candles, they're assembling different items, making t-shirts. And imagine again that you're hunched over a working table, you're constantly lifting. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to move back a little bit. If you want to participate, you're more than welcome to. Is the sound still okay?
It's great.
So if you want to participate or come back or watch this on a replay, all of that's fine. What we're going to start with is feel, and Robin already sat up. Notice how you're sitting right now, and there's this natural, because you're sitting over the computer or you're sitting sideways because you're on Zoom and you're bored, so you're kind of doing this in the chair. What I want you to do is push down fairly lightly with both feet. And I want you to just concentrate on your hips. And from your hips to your rib cage, think about sitting up a little bit taller. And then from your chest area to your neck, none of this is fast. Just think about pulling your head up just a tiny bit, like a little easy nudge. Nothing too crazy. And then inhale. And exhale, and just push your shoulders back a tiny bit. So when you're pushing the shoulders back, it's literally just doing this. And the idea again is that you're opening up your chest. You're taking pressure off of your hips instead of sitting down into the hips. Okay. The next thing that you're going to do if you don't have any shoulder problems is you can put your arms up, and it doesn't have to be way up. It doesn't have to be anything extreme. Actually, let me tilt this down a little bit. So I want you to take your hands, and I want you to clasp your hands and squeeze on the inhale and exhale, and inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale, and then release your hands. And I'm doing all this fairly fast just to give you tips. Then you can also shake your hands out, left and right. And this also produces some energy. So obviously I said you could do this during Zoom. In a Zoom meeting, please don't do this while someone's talking, but you could do it off camera. Now what you can do on a Zoom meeting, if you're here, right now I'm shaking my hands to create a little movement and energy, and you can't really quite see that.
Mhm.
Okay. You can also bring your arms up if you don't have any injuries. If having your hands out and extended feels like too much pressure on your shoulders, you can even do this. And then I'm going to have you flex your wrists and down, up and down, and inhale. And then come back and give a squeeze of your hands. Again, you're just getting some blood flow going. This is a little more detail. You can even lift each finger with each breath and see how that feels. And then drop your hands down. Again, we're doing all these a little bit rapid fire. The next thing that you can do is lift your arms up over your head. And ignore my sweat there. I have a sweat going already. And again, if this is too much, you can bring your arms here. Some of you may know from the gym, you can do presses this way. Again, just see what feels good for you. If there's too much pressure on the shoulders, too much pressure on the arms, or you're shaking, again, bring everything close to you. You can do lifts like this. You don't have to have, any time that you have the extension, you can have some tension or pressure on the shoulders. So again, nothing has to be extreme. You can just do the wrist this way. You could lift your arms this way, and you give yourself a little support. And then the last one I'm going to show you is, you'll just have to imagine, because I can't back up enough from the camera. Again, place your attention on your feet. Mm-hmm. And you can do this with one foot or both feet. Flex your toes up and your ankles up. So your feet are going to be doing this. And then flex them down and point. Heels down, toes up. Toes down, heels up. And again, if you're looking, I could be in a Zoom meeting and you don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Then the other one that you can do, again, a little more careful in a Zoom meeting, is you can place both hands underneath your leg and literally lift your own leg up. So hands underneath. Mm-hmm. And instead of, again, too much pressure on the hip, like if it's too much for you to lift your own hip up, put your hands underneath and you're just very gently. Keep your belly engaged. And again, you're going to inhale. And any of those movements, do them at whatever pace feels good for you. And obviously, if there's any pain or discomfort, again, if putting your arms up over your head, extending them out hurts too much, just don't do that. You can do side bends, so you can put your hands on your hips like you're angry or upset or questioning, and just tilt your elbow down and come back up. Tilt your elbow down and come back up. And the big thing that I teach with especially the mindfulness part is notice how you feel when you're doing all of that. If it doesn't feel good, stop doing it. If it does feel good, or you're like, oh, I kind of feel a nice little pull or a sensation, don't go beyond that. So if tilting this much feels good, there's no need to do all of this or to do it really fast. Just notice what feels good and what kind of relief or release that you get. So again, movement is really important. We're having to sit a lot, sometimes just by the nature of our business, not just COVID, but movement is important physically, mentally, and emotionally. It's not just fitness. And some of this you can do when you're standing washing dishes or mopping the floor or reaching for things, or again, assembling your products. You can still flex your feet. You can flex your hands. You can do it sitting at a stoplight. So those are my tips for mindful movement while you're multitasking to keep your mind right. And as we say in Biz Chicks, you can keep going to the head of your own line with grace and mobility. So any questions?
We don't have any questions over here in the chat, but my question to you is, how can people connect? I put the link for your app. Is that an app that you gave the link for?
Yes.
Okay, can you talk about the app? I'm going to put the link in here again, so it'll be in the chat twice.
Thank you. And I see Jerry's in there saying great advice. Thank you, Jerry. And Maureen does a lot of mobility. Absolutely. So the app that I am on is called Insight Timer. It's the #1 free app for anxiety and sleeplessness. So you can download the app for free or access on the internet. And I'm going to be on there Sunday, January 17th at 11 o'clock doing a full Yoga Nidra session. What I did today is movement. So in Yoga Nidra, you lay down, you relax, and I guide you through. And it's a chance to relax your mind, relax your body, and also gives you more focus. I do it for business groups, like if you're doing your resolutions or your intentions, if you're stuck creatively trying to create a product, it can be really helpful. And all you have to do is to lay down. And then I also have 3 recordings on there, one for anxiety, and one to help you sleep well, and one to help you focus. And those are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The app is free and it's donation based.
Okay. All right. So then we can, before we listen to the session, we have an opportunity to bless you.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes. And during the live session, donations are accepted because Insight Timer does a lot of the heavy lifting for me. And then there are fees again on there. And so it's just a chance to both support the app for being free and to support me because it's my business. It's what I do.
Exactly.
I help people calm their chaos.
Yes, and we're here to help you run a profitable business. Did you hear that, folks? That's fun to run. So when you go in there, don't just be a taker, be a giver too, because there's a blessing in giving. So we are excited for you. I'm excited about the fact that you have an app. And are you there every? Why are we having so much feedback? Let me turn myself down. Hold on. Are you there every Sunday at 11?
Not necessarily so I just did my first session. I'm going to put 2 sessions up in February, and then I do Zoom sessions regularly on Sunday outside of the app. Okay. And those classes are $10 each per person per household on Zoom.
That's amazing. Now, where else can you get the whole household on there for $10? At any rate, we don't want to keep our audience. We are in the process of trying to make sure that we keep these sessions short so that you guys can retain what we share with you. So, Jill, we love you. We know that you operate the breathing space here in Elk Grove. Guys, you can Google Jill Weston or The Breathing Space, and you'll be able to find her website, book a class, book a group class on Zoom or whatever you need to do. It's a great activity, especially if you're planning like a virtual meeting or a virtual family reunion or something. Huh, Robin? Then that could be an activity. All right. So, Robin, what do you have for us next week?
So next week we have Linus Mullins, and she's going to be with us to share some New Year's insights. So Linus will be with us next week, and the week after that, we're going to have Dr. Rogers. Secunda Rogers will be with us after that. So we've got an exciting month coming up.
Fantastic. Thank you, ladies, so much. I just want to say that if ever we needed a time to calm our chaos, it's now. So remember, guys, don't forget to go to the front of your own line. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be talking tech in English. Have a great day. Thank you again, Jill. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Francine.
And Jill, put your information in the chat for the website.
I will.
And we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.